This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good morning. It's 4:27 here on your Thursday. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We are following breaking news right now from Broad Ripple, a neighborhood that seldom sees any crime. This after a person was shot and killed at Connor's Pub. This is on Ferguson Street. We are working to learn more details. This happened within the last hour and a half or so. So we aren't really sure what exactly unfolded there, but this is really uncommon for this neighborhood.
Yeah, so we're going to be checking in with police and keeping you updated, especially if you live in that area. You're going to want to know what's going on. So we'll give you all the details on that investigation as soon as we get them. Another story we are following this morning, it probably had you talking the other day. Several students at McKenzie Career Center were supposed to be getting tested for TB. Instead, they got injected with insulin, sending several students to the hospital. And so now a mother is saying that she wants the people responsible held accountable.
Yeah, this mother and son say they are planning on suing because of this mix-up. She wound up at the hospital where her son was not in good shape after this happened. Thankfully, he and all those other students are okay now, but they want someone held accountable because they're saying, how does a medical professional make this type of mistake?
We'll have more details on what's going on there with that investigation. But first, we want to bring in Alyssa Donovan. It's been a hot 3 days so far this week. Alyssa, now we're into Thursday. What can we expect?
So things are starting to cool off a little bit. Now, when I say cool off, I just mean those temperatures are dropping. It's still going to be a little bit warm today. We're starting warm this morning, a little humid as well, and then we are going to see that humidity drop off as we head into the afternoon. Highs will not be as warm as we were yesterday. Most of us will be into the lower 80s. Right now, we're starting in the 70s. This morning, the low 70s and upper 60s with those clear skies. By the afternoon, we'll see a little bit more cloud coverage build in just as this cold front passes. 83 degrees for the high. We'll see that humidity drop off. And then tomorrow, we're going to see high pressure behind this, which is going to help cool us down overnight. Tomorrow, we'll be starting the morning in the low 50s and upper 40s. So a big change from where we're starting today. And highs tomorrow only going to be into the upper 60s. So a huge change from what we've seen earlier this week.
Yeah, might be a shock to the system.
Might be a shock to the system, a little bit.
All right, well, we're looking forward, a lot of us, to some fall weather. Alyssa, thank you so much. Another story we have for you is in our Hiring Hoosier story, and this is from our career coach, and it's all about going back to work after having a child. Whew, I know this can be a difficult topic, so we're going to be breaking down some tips for you because we know a lot of you may be in this situation or will be in this situation. So we'll have that coming up, as well as news, weather, and traffic to start your Thursday.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Coming up on Good Morning Indiana, a mother is taking legal action after her son and 15 other students were mistakenly given insulin injections at school. What she wants done to hold the school accountable.
And today marks another big step for Indiana sports betting. The app's now available to make wagers on your smartphone.
And a neighborhood on the Near East Side is getting millions of dollars for improvements. The upgrades being planned to give a lift to that community. Here at 4:30, we do want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Alyssa Donovan joining us with a look at the weather. And the good news for today is we are starting that downward decline temperature-wise.
Yes, which I think a lot of people are probably happy about. It's October. It's supposed to feel like fall by now.
Yeah, and it hasn't at all.
Mother Nature apparently doesn't know how to read a calendar is what's happening.
I think you're right. But finally, we are going to start that trend into those cooler temperatures. Today, it's still going to be warm and a warm start, but we are going to cool off by tomorrow. 71 right now in Indianapolis. Those temperatures starting again well above average this morning. We are going to start a little humid as well. And we do have just those showers to the north of us. Those moved through last night. Off to our west, we do have a system moving across Illinois right now. Could bring us a stray shower, maybe a spot thunderstorm for some of those northern counties yet this morning. Extreme northern counties, I should say. And then besides that, we are going to see a little bit more cloud coverage build in. That's just with that passing cold front that's moving through today. What that's going to do is bring us that cloud coverage, which means we're not going to warm up quite as much as we head into the afternoon. We're also going to see that dry us out a little bit, so any humidity we have today is going to start to drop off later this afternoon. Temperatures today today. We'll be into the 80s across the area, and then we are going to drop off a little bit more tomorrow. I'll have those details coming up.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's take a live look right now from our INDOT traffic camera. This is on the northeast side, I-69, a little north of I-465. You can see traffic in this area is moving along up to speed. We do have a stalled vehicle there, as you can see by the flashing lights, but other than that, everything is moving along just fine. Let's take a turn right now over to I-465 and West 21st Street on the west side of town. Some road work here for your morning drive, but overall, everything is traveling up to speed. No issues here on the west side to slow you down.
We are following breaking news right now. One person is dead after a shooting at Connor's Pub in Broad Ripple. That's in the 6300 block of Ferguson Street. It does look like officers here are about to dress the media. Otherwise, we would give you a live look at the scene. Officers and emergency crews were called here about an hour ago at 3:30 this morning. Not much information has been released at this time. We will continue to bring you the latest updates right here on Good Morning Indiana. But once again, it does look like police will soon address the media, so hopefully we can learn a little bit more about what unfolded here this morning.
And we are following other breaking news from overnight. A man is facing charges after leading officers on a police chase through multiple counties. Metro Police say the chase started when they tried to stop him for a traffic violation near 62nd and Michigan Road. He took off and officers chased him along 56th Street over to Brownsburg and then down to State Road 267 to County Road 100 North in Avon, where he was finally stopped. It's unclear why this man would not stop for police in the first place. Well, this morning, an Indianapolis mother is demanding accountability after finding her son unconscious and overdosing from an insulin shot.
Her son was one of 16 students accidentally given the injection in a mix-up that happened Monday at the McKenzie Career Center for Innovation and Technology. RTV6's Cameron Riddle breaks down the legal notice sent to the school about how they handled the mistake.
Knocked him out. Knocked him out. Scared me to death.
It was supposed to be a routine test for tuberculosis with medical professionals from Community Health Network. But instead, that visit ended with 16 Lawrence Township students being sent to the hospital after they were mistakenly given insulin instead of a shot for TB. Cynthia Smith rushed to the school when she learned her son, Elijah Gaskin III, a football player in his senior year, was unconscious.
I'm panicking right now because I'm worried, because I know what insulin does. I'm a nurse. I know what insulin can do to you if given in the wrong content.
An ambulance rushed Elijah to the hospital where he later regained consciousness. His mother, an experienced nurse, can't understand how a healthcare professional could confuse insulin with TB solution.
In school, you're taught how to check things, and you check them 3-4 times before you even administer, but you have to physically do that to draw any type of solution out of any bottle. So it's here right above your eyes, so you have to read it. And with insulin and tuberculin solution, they're in 2 different size bottles. So just basic nursing should have known that.
A spokesperson for Lawrence Township Schools tells RTV6 students in the district's career training programs are required to get a flu shot and be tested for TB before starting their off-campus learning. The tort claim, hand-delivered to the school district by Smith's attorney, says Lawrence Township Schools, quote, failed to provide proper supervision over the required TB tests in its premises, failed to abide by the parental consent, failed to secure and properly label the insulin, and otherwise acted negligently. Tonight, the 16 students are all out of the hospital, but Smith says the outcome could have been much worse.
This could have been a deadly situation for all 16 of these children that were injected with this insulin, because 10 units of insulin, or whatever the amount that was given, is a big amount of insulin for someone that's not diabetic.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Smith and her lawyer hope to meet with the school district and Community Health to reach a settlement before filing a lawsuit in court.
This morning, the investigation continues after a 3-car crash in Brownsburg left a juvenile dead and 3 others injured. The crash happened on Wednesday at the intersection of State Road 267 and County Road 1000 North. Police believe that a minivan ran a stop sign and hit a truck and then another car. A passenger in the minivan was taken to the hospital in critical condition and later died. The driver of the minivan and 2 people in the truck suffered minor injuries. An infant was also taken to the hospital as a precaution.
Sports betting will take another step in Indiana today as it officially goes illegal online. In-person sports betting began last month, allowing casinos to take game wagers. Chicago-based Rush Street Interactive and DraftKings are both launching the state's first betting apps after receiving approval from the Indiana Gaming Commission. They're partnering with Ameristar Casino in East Chicago and French Lick Resort Casino. All Indiana casino operators are planning mobile betting apps, but others have not announced launch dates. A report for the State Gaming Commission projects about 2/3 of sports bets will be done online within a few years.
A neighborhood on the near east side of Indianapolis is getting $3.5 million for improvements. The funding will go to 10th Street corridor just east of downtown over 3 years. The money comes from Lift Indy, a community development investment program. Charles Lovelady, a longtime business owner in the neighborhood, became emotional when talking about bringing new life to the area.
It's just, sorry for keep saying but did it again. Just being in this neighborhood for how many years I have, I'm ready to see new things happening, new businesses, new houses being developed, and I'm just here on board with that.
To bring these
Well, a selection committee made up of city nonprofit and business leaders chose the neighborhood from a pool of applicants.
Indianapolis is wasting no time trying to take over an empty property after the current owner scrapped a major redevelopment project. The city now plans to use eminent domain to take control of the former General Motors stamping plant site on the west side. This comes a week after the current owner, Ambrose Property Group, backed out of a plan to bring apartments, restaurants, and retail to the area. In a letter to the company, the city says it's making the move to ensure necessary development. Eminent domain allows a public entity to acquire private property for public use with payment or compensation. RTV6 reached out to Ambrose for comment, but we have not heard back. Ambrose has already sold or given away some of the land. That includes 26 acres to the Indianapolis Zoo. The zoo will use the additional property for a major expansion and new exhibit. Plans for that are in the very early stages. The zoo parking lot will also be moved as part of the expansion.
Shelves that were once stocked with food have been replaced with desks and chalkboards at an old grocery store out in Shelbyville. A former marsh along State Road 44 is now home to Golden Bear Preschool. The vacant store had turned into an eyesore, sitting empty since 2011. Shelbyville Central Schools repurposed the property into an early childhood education space in the district's administrative offices.
We had over 300 people come through, and they're just amazed because maybe they shopped at Marsh, so they're saying this is where the deli section was and this is the freezer section. But you walk in there now and you just don't, you just see wonderful learning environments and play spaces.
The superintendent says the district waited for the price of the building to drop from about $6 million to $1 million.
President Trump is unleashing as Democrats prepare to subpoena the White House. Coming up, the latest on the impeachment inquiry.
And after 3 weeks, GM workers are still on strike. How the picketing is affecting profits and international production. Alyssa.
And today we are still above average with those temperatures, but not nearly as warm as the first half of the week. We are continuing to cool down. Tomorrow, I'll have the details coming up.
And checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
In Washington this morning, Kurt Volker, who resigned as the State Department Special Envoy to the Ukraine, will sit down behind closed doors for depositions with 3 House committees.
He is the first official to testify in the whistleblower charges against President Trump. ABC's Serena Marshall has the latest on the impeachment inquiry.
As Democrats prepare to subpoena the White House, the president unleashing.
We don't call him Shifty Schiff for nothing. And let me tell you something. Biden's son is corrupt, and Biden is corrupt. You look at the whistleblower statement, and it's vicious. Vicious.
From the Democrats leading the investigation to the whistleblower, Mr. Trump's frustration beginning with a furious tweet saying the Democrats should be focused on building up our country, not wasting everyone's time and energy on bull. Democrats argue this is no joke.
We're not fooling around here, though.
And put the White House on notice. Turn over the information related to President Trump's efforts to have Ukraine investigate his political rivals or face a subpoena.
Well, I always cooperate. This is a hoax.
Neither the White House nor the president have yet to say what about the whistleblower's complaint was inaccurate. When pressed, it was one question he couldn't or wouldn't answer.
The question, sir, was what did you want President Zelensky to do about Vice President Biden and his son Hunter?
Are you talking to me?
I think the president knows the argument that can be made against him, and he's scared.
As for Joe Biden, he's now fighting back.
Let me make something clear to Mr. Trump and his hatchet men. I'm not going anywhere.
Overnight, the whistleblower's lawyer pushing back on the suggestion that a member of Congress helped write the complaint, saying their client drafted it entirely on their own. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
And this morning on Good Morning America, an ABC News exclusive, George Stephanopoulos goes one-on-one with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, getting the speaker's take on her phone conversation with President Trump hours before she announced the impeachment inquiry. That's coming up on Good Morning America.
It's 4:45. General Motors will soon lose $600 million in profits as they continue to negotiate with union workers for a third week. One firm estimates the automaker could lose $90 million a day if the strike continues. GM says the profits aren't the only thing affected by the strike. More than 9,200 workers in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico are being impacted by the picket lines. Union bargainers rejected a contract offer yesterday, saying the offer would take money from other places to fund profit sharing.
Walmart is the latest retailer to pull the heartburn drug Zantac from shelves. The medication is being linked to cancer concerns, but has not officially been recalled. CVS and Walgreens have already pulled the drug and their generic brand options. The FDA has acknowledged the concerns and says patients who want to stop taking the prescription should talk to their doctor. Walmart says customers can return the affected products for a refund. At 4:46, we are finally seeing our temps here in central Indiana cool down, Alyssa.
That's right. I think a lot of people are going to be happy about the next couple days here because we're going to see those temperatures dropping off, that humidity dropping off as well. We're actually going to be a little bit cool tomorrow with those highs and those morning lows, just a smidge below average before we start to stabilize this weekend. So we have those falling temperatures in the forecast, and then we do have the potential of a spot storm over the weekend. Looks like late Saturday night into Sunday will be our best chance for that. And then we're starting next week right close to average, a little bit below average, if even that. So a huge change from what we've seen the past couple days. Yesterday, we did hit another record, so that's a couple days of records that we've had this week. Usually we are in the 70s this time of year, the low 70s. Our previous record for October 2nd yesterday is 89 degrees. Yesterday we hit 92, so 2 days in October that were above average, well above average. As we head over the next couple days, we are going to cool off just a little bit, a lot more than we were the first half of the week. We are dropping into the low 80s today, then we are plummeting into the upper 60s tomorrow with a passing cold front before we see those temperatures just right around the 70s for the weekend. We'll be closer to those averages by Monday. So we've had high pressure in control the past couple days. Now we have this cold front that's moving through that brought us a few showers to the north as we headed overnight last night. So we do have a little bit of moisture hanging around in the air this morning. So we're seeing just a little bit of fog developing to the north right around Fort Wayne. Good chance we'll see some of that spread into the rest of the northern counties as we head through mid-morning. So if that's part of your commute, just be aware of that. Here, as we head through the day, we are going to see those temperatures starting in the 60s and 70s. Small chance of a stray shower or storm for areas extremely north, right around Lafayette and Kokomo. The rest of us likely staying dry today and continuing to get drier. But you can see as that cold front passes, we'll see a little bit more cloud coverage, which means it's going to be harder for us to climb with those temperatures today. Likely only reaching the upper 70s and low 80s across the area with just a little bit of cloud coverage as we head into the afternoon. afternoon. Looking ahead to the weekend, 75 on Saturday. Sunday will be in the low 70s as well. Partly sunny on Saturday. That's going to be the best day in your weekend forecast because we do have that potential of some showers and storms as we head through the day on Sunday. Tomorrow, that's going to be our cool day, 69 degrees. Look at those lows, though. We're starting in the 50s tomorrow morning, so you are going to want a light jacket for your Friday morning, and then we are going to see those temperatures back into the 70s for the weekend.
Alyssa, thanks so much. Take a look here on the northwest side. The time right now is 4:49, and we're monitoring some construction in this area. It's on I-465 and West 71st Street, but it looks like everything's traveling up to speed there, both northbound and southbound. We'll keep a close eye on that spot and keep you updated. Let's take a look at our traffic now map at this hour. We are monitoring a little bit of a slowdown here to the north. This is on westbound I-465 near Keystone Avenue. Just watch for crews working in that area as well. Let's take a live look on the northeast side. I-69 and I-465. You can see traffic there is moving along up to speed. No major issues for your morning drive.
Bleach is a staple cleaning product, but new research says that mixing it with certain scented products could be dangerous for you and your pets. The study says that combining bleach with citrus-scented household cleaners create potentially dangerous air particles. If inhaled, it can cause short-term health issues like irritation to the nose and throat, coughing, and shortness of breath. It can particularly affect those already suffering from asthma and heart disease. To help reduce your risk, open your windows for proper ventilation. Can you pick this year's fattest bear? Still ahead, the competition created by one of Alaska's national parks.
And a motion has been filed to drop charges against an Indiana man accused of abandoning his adopted daughter. New at 5 o'clock why his attorney says the daughter was pretending to be a child. But first,
I'm Vinny Politan. Today on Court TV, the fallout and reaction to yesterday's shocking verdict inside a Dallas courtroom. Amber Geiger was convicted of the murder of Botham Jean. Then that same jury sentenced her to just 10 years in prison. We're live in Dallas today on Court TV.
Don't forget you can watch the all-new Court TV live on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. We'll be right back.
Nature's Bounty. Find our coupon in Sunday's paper.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. 4:55 on your Thursday, and here's a live look over on the west side, I-465 and West Washington Street. Traffic here is still moving along up to speed. There's no crashes or delays over here on the west side to slow you down.
An Ohio mother is dressing up in costume to slow cars down in her neighborhood. She's been dressing like a pink unicorn and holding a sign urging drivers to slow down near her children's bus stop in Centerville. The speed limit is 25 miles an hour, but she says many drivers break it. She also says her campaign has been getting good vibes from kids and other parents. The police department, however, not a positive reaction, saying that her dancing in costume can actually be a distraction to drivers.
And move over, fantasy football Fat Bear Week is back, and there's still time to pick a wild winner. Bears in Alaska's Katmai National Park prepare for hibernation by packing on the pounds. The Park Service turned into an annual contest to pick the chubbiest bears in a head-to-head matchup. 2018's winner was Beadnose, who took the top prize with a startling transformation. Wow. Online voting is already open, and the winner will be named on October 8th.
Wow.
Pretty impressive there.
Look at how
getting ready for winter, just little roly-polies. Oh,
is it
so
bad?
cute.
I feel bad that we're like body
bod.
shaming these bears.
Hey, in this case, being fat is a good thing.
Yeah, I know.
They want it.
Yes.
Ready for hibernation.
Yes,
but it's different. Yeah.
They should have a say in this. All right, not quite hibernating weather yet here in central Indiana.
Not yet. It might feel a little bit more like it tomorrow just because we've been so spoiled, I guess you could say, with those really warm temperatures we've had. We've been into the low 90s the past couple days. Today we'll be into the low 80s, so starting to cool down a little bit less humidity in the forecast as we head into the afternoon as well. Much cooler on Friday. Temperatures will start in the low 50s, only climbing into the upper 60s. We're in the 70s for the weekend with a spot storm chance on Sunday, 60s to start off next week.